Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news at 6. We'll be getting you the day's top developing stories. I'm Tracy Shilshi, and in the next 30 minutes, like I said, we'll be getting you the top developing stories. One, of course, developing here in the capital at, of course, the EC office, where the Samajwadi Party's two factions, of course, presented their cases today. Let's start with the headlines. Election Commission meets both factions of the Samajwadi Party to decide who gets the party symbol. Verdict is likely before nomination process starts for the first phase of UP polls on the 17th of January. Controversy over Prime Minister Narendra Modi's picture replacing Mahatma Gandhi on Khadi Commission's calendar. Opposition parties object to Modi being shown spinning the charkha. Army Chief General Bipin Rawat says suggestion and grievance system is in place for all divisions. Asks troops to use suggestion boxes instead of airing grievances on social media after a series of videos came out in the past few weeks citing about lapses in food to other kinds of disparity. And Supreme Court asks the petitioner seeking postponement of the union budget to state what provisions have been violated, says it does not find any material in support of his PIL, posts further hearing for the 20th of January. Well, the top story this evening, the Election Commission today reserved its decision on the matter of the Samajwadi Party's election symbol, the cycle. This after both factions of the party met the commission officials. KVIC Chairman V.K. Saxena said that there is no rule or tradition that only Mahatma Gandhi's picture this, of course, is in relation to another story. But what, of course, we were talking about is that both the factions of the party met commission officials, and the faction, in fact, led by Mulayam Singh Yadav and his son, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav, have staked claim to the control of the party and the symbol. The commission wants to settle the matter before the nomination process starting on the 17th of January for the first phase of elections. The Akhilesh Yadav faction is confident of not only retaining the symbol, but also getting an absolute majority in the upcoming polls. It is banking on a development agenda that it claims has gained a lot of popularity among voters. However, Mulayam, the Samajwadi Party patriarch, recently said that Akhilesh will remain the chief ministerial candidate, will of course be the next chief minister if the Samajwadi Party comes back to power again after the elections. But despite the remarks, there seems to have been no efforts to iron out differences between the father and son on some contentious issues. The 7-phase assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh will start on the 11th of February, remember, and filing of the nominations for the first phase will start on the 17th of January.
अखिलेश यादव जी का जो पार्टी है, उन्होंने इलेक्शन कमीशन में अपना पक्ष रखा और कहा कि जो साइकिल का सिंबल है वो उनको मिलना चाहिए। दैट इज समाजवादी पार्टी लेड बाय अखिलेश यादव। और दूसरी तरफ से मुलायम सिंह जी के वकील ने अपना पक्ष रखा कि ये सिंबल उनको मिलना चाहिए। लगभग 5 साढ़े 5 घंटा बहस हुई और बहस के खत्म होने के बाद चुनाव आयोग ने कहा है कि हम जल्द से जल्द फैसला करेंगे। इसके बारे में क्योंकि बहस हो चुकी है, अब ये निर्णय आया नहीं है, तो उचित नहीं है कि मैं कोई भी टिप्पणी इस बारे में करूं। क्या अब चुनाव आयोग जो भी तय करेगी वो मंजूर होगा।
लेकिन सर क्या इस बात पर भी बहस हुई है कि विभाजन हुआ है पार्टी में या नहीं हुआ?
अब बहस तमाम मुद्दों पे हुई है, सभी मुद्दों पे बहस हुई। पहले आने दीजिए, रिजल्ट पे देखिए।
मार्गदर्शक बने रहेंगे,
हमारे संरक्षक नेताजी हैं।
कब तक रिजल्ट आने की संभावना है?
ये इलेक्शन कमीशन बता सकता है। हमने उनसे अर्ज किया कि जल्दी से जल्दी
कहा जा रहा है कि विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं अपने हलफनामे को, ऐसी कोई बात हुई है क्या अंदर?
हमें ऐसी कोई सूचना नहीं।
All right, for more on this story, we've got Kriti Mishra, our correspondent, who's of course been tracking developments in Lucknow and joining us in studio this evening after tracking that marathon meeting that took place at the EC's office. Kriti, give us an idea of, first of all, what happened, which side placed their case first, an idea of what happened during those 4 hours.
Well, Tracy, this is the penultimate moment in the Samajwadi Party tug-of-war. The Election Commission, of course, has reserved the order. But today, in fact, Kapil Sibal, who was representing Akhilesh, he claimed that Akhilesh is the party president and he enjoys overwhelming majority in the party. So the symbol should go to Akhilesh's camp. Meanwhile, Mohan Pransare, who was representing, in fact, Mulayam Singh Yadav and his battery of lawyers, they claimed that the party symbol should belong to Mulayam Singh Yadav. They've said that the national convention that was convened by Ram Gopal was unconstitutional because the national convention can only be convened by the party president. They also said that Akhilesh's anointment was also unconstitutional because, in fact, when a party president, according to Samajwadi Party bylaws, is elected, then nominations have to be made. So they've claimed that the entire procedure adopted by Akhilesh's camp was unconstitutional, and they've said that Samajwadi Party is Mulayam Singh Yadav. So now, of course, it remains to be seen whether the Election Commission freezes the symbol, whether the symbol goes to one of the factions. So, of course, the ball is in Election Commission's court.
Absolutely. And was there a change of stance that you saw perhaps from the Mulayam camp? Because as we've been seeing in the past few days, in fact, for the entire week as well, Akhilesh Yadav and his camp has been very clear that he's got 90% of the majority of the support with him. That's a number that they've stuck by. That is what they're going with as far as their story is concerned. Maintaining that he is, of course, he is the leader of the party. He is going to be the chief minister, and he is going to fight for the Samajwadi Party with the cycle symbol, with the majority of the support, with him. However, the Mulayam camp at the moment also saying at the EC's office, I believe, that there is no split in the party. So in a sense, a softening of stance that we're seeing from that side. Would you agree with that?
Well, this entire saga, the Samajwadi Party saga, is getting convoluted. At one point we see that Mulayam Singh Yadav, the party patriarch, he adopts a very soft stance towards his son and then maintains a very, very harsh tone for his brother. Yes. So now, of course, they're traveling on two boats together, at least Mulayam Singh Yadav. Meanwhile, Akhilesh's camp, as far as they are concerned, the supporters, they are working on plan B as well. For instance, if they do not get the party symbol, then they are also probably looking at motorcycle and the name Akhil Bharatiya Samajwadi Party. That's what they are looking at. And even there, they have started preparing their manifesto. So right now, the situation is extremely precarious, and the Election Commission's decision would actually decide where would this entire thing go.
Absolutely. And is that a worry among the Mulayam camp? Is the Mulayam camp as well looking at an alternative name, an alternative symbol as well?
Well, they are in talks with Lok Dal. That was the party that was, of course, Mulayam Singh Yadav was part of this party earlier. But these are just talks in very, very, not on very advanced stage. So it remains to be seen, because Mulayam's camp is extremely confident that according to the bylaws and the conventions, Mulayam Singh Yadav has a very strong footing as far as the claim for the election symbol, the party symbol is concerned. So they are actually confident, but talks, of course, are on. But it would only shape up once the Election Commission gives the decision.
And it's interesting you're bringing in those allies as well, Kriti, because we've just been talking about the Samajwadi Party, the concerns that they have, what are the kind of fears that they probably have as far as elections are concerned, with now, of course, the Election Commission still not coming out with, a decision as yet. They do have to come out with something before the 17th of January, because that's when the first list of nominations have to be filed. However, what are the allies, forget the Congress, that's of course a post-poll alliance that we're probably going to be seeing with Akhilesh. There have been murmurs and rumors about it, of course, but that wasn't any way official. But the ones that were official, that were, of course, siding with the Samajwadi Party, how are they, gauging this entire controversy?
Well, Election Commission's decision would dictate many combinations and permutations. As far as Congress is concerned, it would get a better bargaining position if Akhilesh's camp they are not given the symbol, which is the cycle. As far as other allies are concerned, they are also closely monitoring the entire situation. because they were placing their cards on Akhilesh Yadav because he was touted as the next Chief Minister of the state who looks for development. So that was the thing that actually drew these smaller allies towards Akhilesh's camp.
Yes.
And they are looking at the entire situation very, very closely and weighing their strengths and weaknesses.
All right. Any word from when the EC is going to be coming out with any kind of decision? Do we see probably by Monday now?
Well, both the factions have urged the Election Commission that they want a decision so that they could go ahead for elections. Of course, we know that nominations would begin from 17th of January.
Yes.
So as far as Akhilesh's camp is concerned, they are extremely worried that if the decision would take more time, their strategy would have to be realigned.
Yes.
So they are working in all directions, and actually they've also urged the EC to come up with a decision as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. Everyone's watching for that as well, not just the Samajwadi Party and its allies. Thanks so much, Kriti, for joining us for the moment. We'll be, of course, tracking this big story with you in the days to come as well. Meanwhile, let's head on to more news. And another one of our headline stories. Opposition parties today criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi being featured with a charkha in the 2017 Khadi and Village Industries Commission calendar and table diary. Traditionally, Mahatma Gandhi's picture appears on the calendar. But KVIC Chairman V.K. Saxena said that there is no rule or tradition that states that only Mahatma Gandhi's picture can be published on these items. However, the BJP tried to downplay the controversy, stating that the father of the nation is irreplaceable. Many parties, in fact, calling the development worrisome as well. Reacting sharply on Twitter, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee criticized Prime Minister Modi.
The charkha, which has now replaced on the KVIC calendar and diary, is merely a photographic prop. It's a fashion accessory. This government is very prone to making mistakes, but this doesn't seem to be like a mistake. This seems to be like a very thought out and a very well-planned strategy to gain credibility.
He has now tried to become a Gandhi replacement, Mahatma Gandhi replacement, mind you, by evicting Mahatma Gandhi from all the stationery published by the Khadi Sansthan, and there is no other symbol more associated intimately in origin, promotion, establishment of Khadi in India than Mahatma Gandhi, by putting now in all diaries and calendars Mr. Modi's picture. There is no answer by the government, but a quiet whispering campaign is carried out to say that in many earlier years also, Gandhi ji was evicted.
चरखा और खादी लाकर के अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ जो मुहिम शुरू की थी वो गांधी जी की पहचान है। इस देश में स्वतंत्रता की लड़ाई की एक पहचान है और गांधी जी की फोटो हटा करके वहां नरेंद्र मोदी की फोटो लगाना मुझे लगता है इससे बड़ा घटिया काम कोई नहीं हो सकता है। इसकी पूरी निंदा है और मैं तो मांग करता हूं सारी की सारी डायरी वापस ली जाए।
खादी कमीशन cannot ever obliterate or erode or reduce his contribution. Now, if Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants to replace his picture with that of Mahatma Gandhi's picture with his own picture, one begins to wonder either the story is false or the Prime Minister is completely now on the wrong track.
महात्मा गांधी हमारे लिए पूज्य हैं और कोई सवाल ही नहीं खड़ा होता अन्य किसी को उनका स्थान लेने का। क्या वे लोग अपने को भुनाने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहे हैं? जो लोग इस तरह की भाषा का प्रयोग कर रहे हैं वो स्वयं अपनी मार्केटिंग करने की कोशिश करते हैं और जब उसमें विफल हो रहे हैं तो मोदी जी को आरोप लगा रहे हैं।
In other news, the Supreme Court has sought material and legal provisions in support of a PIL seeking postponement of presentation of the union budget due to the assembly elections in 5 states. Hearing the matter, the bench said that it found no material to support the case. It also asked the petitioner as to what provisions had been violated in the case. The court has fixed the PIL for further hearing on the 20th of January. Earlier, the bench refused to accord urgent hearing to the petition that also sought a direction to strip the BJP of its lotus election symbol. The petitioner alleged violation of the Model Code of Conduct that came into effect after declaration of assembly polls in 5 states. The PIL wants the centre to present the union budget in the financial year 2017-18 at a later date instead of the 1st of February. With that, a quick break here, but more news follows in a bit. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Indian Standard Time.
Interesting thing about Trump is that, he is something of an ideological tabula rasa. Media and the progressive media will have to do is stop looking for, the smoking gun against him. His infrastructure spending proposal is actually 3 or 4 times bigger than what Hillary had proposed.
Watch senior US journalist Shikha Dalmia articulate in Indian Standard Time on Rajya Sabha television.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. Now, in the wake of recent cases where Army and BSF jawans took to social media to raise their anger against the attitude of senior officers, Army Chief General Bipin Rawat announced that jawans can write to him directly by avoiding protocol. General Rawat announced the setting up of the Chief of Army Staff redressal and grievance boxes at the Army headquarters, at command headquarters and subsequently at lower levels. He also assured that the identity of any person who writes to him will be protected. He also urged soldiers to have confidence in the senior leadership of the Army.
That I have issued orders that in the Army headquarters, we will have a Chief of Army Staff suggestion cum grievances box placed at various places. We will follow suit with similar Chief of Army Staff redressal and grievances boxes being placed at the command headquarters and then subsequently to the lower formations. Anyone, irrespective of rank, service, can use these mechanisms for putting in whatever they wish to write into these letter boxes so that the grievances reach directly to me and through me these can be addressed. But I would like to highlight that a soldier is a soldier if he addresses his grievances directly, penning his name down on that. We will ensure that the identity of his name is not disclosed because these will come in sealed envelopes into these boxes and directly to me in my office. We will then delete the name of the officer or the Jawan, whoever it may be, before any action is taken. But we would like that people come directly to us.
All right, now with temperatures dipping at most places as icy winds sweep the plains following heavy snowfall in the hill states over the past 5 days, cold wave conditions continue to disrupt normal life in northern India. At least 25 trains are running late, 8 rescheduled and 2 cancelled due to dense fog. Delhi is reeling under a severe cold wave as the mercury plummeted to 2 degrees Celsius on Thursday, recording the lowest in the month of January in the last 3 years and the coldest day of the season so far. Delhi government has extended the winter break of all government and government-aided schools till the 19th of January. The Met Department has warned that the temperature in the capital will dip further in the coming days. In Uttar Pradesh, cold conditions continue as temperatures have sharply dipped in the region. Schools in the state which were scheduled to reopen this week have been extended till the 15th of January now, while in Punjab and Haryana the temperature is dipping below freezing point. Narnaul in Haryana is shivering at minus 0.5 degrees Celsius, while Amritsar and Adhampur in Punjab are experiencing bone-chilling cold conditions at 0.9 degrees Celsius. Heavy snowfall in several places of Himachal Pradesh has further intensified the cold conditions. Resort town of Manali recorded minimum temperatures of minus 6.6 degrees Celsius, while Shimla shivered at minus 3.2 on Thursday. Telecommunication links, powers and water supply also remain affected. At least 10 persons have died so far due to intense cold. Authorities have advised people to be on alert due to danger of avalanches in the snow areas of the tribal districts. Meanwhile, in Kashmir, the Met Department has predicted light rains and snowfall at several places in the coming 24 hours. Dry weather plummeted the night temperature further below freezing point. Srinagar recorded a minimum temperature at -5 degrees, with Pahalgam at -13 degrees Celsius. Gulmarg recorded -13.5 degrees Celsius. The temperature in Leh, in Ladakh region, was -17.7 degrees.
ज्यादा ठंडी है साहब, यहाँ पटरी पे मरे जा रहे हैं, नहीं कोई आग जल रही है, नहीं कोई कम्बल है, नहीं कुछ है, ठंड में ऐसे ही पड़े रहते हैं पटरी में, मरा जाते हैं ठंड के मारे बहुत ज्यादा
है। बिजली नहीं है, पानी नहीं है, क्या करें बताओ। यहाँ इतनी ठंड है कि आग सेक के गुजारा करना पड़ रहा है दुकान से बाहर बैठ।
आने वाले मतलब दिनों में जैसा हमने पहले से बोल दिया है कि 10 तारीख की रात से तो 13 तारीख की सुबह तक ये जो पाला पड़ने वाला और शीतलहर ये तो रहेगी, ऐसा पहले ही बता दिया है। तो 14 तारीख के बाद में थोड़ा सा 21 तारीख तक थोड़ा सा टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा, फिर 21 के बाद थोड़ा और कम थोड़ा होगा, लेकिन ये जैसा अभी कम हुआ ऐसा नहीं होगा।
Well, cool weather conditions creating havoc in Europe as well. We'll get you that in a bit, but first let's get you nationwide. The DMK is holding agitations across Tamil Nadu to protest against the Supreme Court's order refusing permission to hold the popular bull taming sport Jallikattu before Pongal. The state opposition party has also accused the centre and the AIADMK government of not taking appropriate timely steps to ensure that the event was conducted. Supreme Court has refused to pass any fresh order to stop cockfights in Andhra Pradesh. A bench comprising Chief Justice J.S. Khehar and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud declined to pass the order when it was submitted that the Andhra Pradesh High Court direction in this regard is not being followed. Cockfights are popular in Andhra Pradesh during the Sankranti festival. The Apex Court also today directed the interim ban by the National Green Tribunal on the glass-coated thread manjha used for flying kites will continue. The bench said that the petitioners, who are a group of traders from Gujarat, can move NGT for appropriate relief. The interim ban on the thread was imposed by the Green Tribunal on the 14th of December last year. Indian Islamic preacher Zakir Naik's Islamic Research Foundation has challenged the centre's decision to immediately ban the organisation in the Delhi High Court. The foundation has claimed that no reasons were given for taking such action under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. The court has asked the government to produce the relevant record on the 17th of January so that the court can see whether there was any material for urgent ban of the IRF. International news, and US President Barack Obama has awarded his deputy Joe Biden the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest US civilian honor. The medal was awarded with distinction. A visibly emotional and surprised Joe Biden stood by as Obama heaped praise on what he called the best possible choice, not just for me, but for the American people as well, quote unquote. Obama also praised Biden for his faith in fellow Americans, love of the country, and a lifetime of service. The award comes as both men prepare to leave the office when Donald Trump is inaugurated on the 20th of January. Biden has said that he plans to stay active in Democratic Party politics. The Presidential Medal of Freedom has been reserved in recent administrations for just a handful of recipients, including Pope John Paul II.
Joe, for your faith in your fellow Americans, for your love of country, and for your lifetime of service that will endure through the generations, I'd like to ask the military aide to join us on stage. For the final time as president, I am pleased to award our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
This honor is not only well beyond what I deserve.
And here are more international news updates in Global Buzz. US President-elect Donald Trump's transition team has been reportedly actively considering ways to revamp the H-1B visas. According to sources, Trump senior policy advisor Stephen Miller proposed scrapping the existing lottery system used to award the visas. H-1B visas is a temporary visa program used to bring foreign workers to the US to fill high-skilled jobs. Iraqi special forces have reportedly entered the Mosul University on Friday, a tactical achievement in battling Islamic State militants for control of the city. The troops entered the university grounds and secured parts of the compound. The move comes a day after Iraqi army forces north of the city linked up with troops pushing in from the city's eastern edge. The sprawling university compound was once used by IS militants as a base. James Mattis, President-elect Donald Trump's pick for US Defense Secretary, has accused Russia of trying to break up the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. He also said that the US needs to stand up to its old foe. However, Mattis's criticism of Russia stands in sharp contrast to the views of his future boss. Trump has repeatedly praised the leadership qualities of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Heavy snow has blanketed Eastern Europe, creating fresh hazards for people already struggling with travel delays, power outages and sub-zero temperatures. With two more deaths reported in Poland, the toll has now hit 65. Romanian police halted shipping along 565 miles of the Danube River. In Serbia, authorities evacuated 130 snowbound residents. Schools were also closed in the worst affected areas of Serbia and Romania. That's it on the news at 6. Thanks so much for joining us.